Let's talk about the rejection. So I have a rejection letter sitting right here in front of me. And before I read it, before we get into the breakdown of what it says and what it means for the future, I actually need to put a massive disclaimer on this entire video. I don't recommend doing this. I don't recommend reading your rejection letters out loud, dwelling on them, or constantly putting yourself in the line of fire. Especially if you aren't mentally prepared for that impact. I am speaking from first-hand experience. When I say that letting a no dictate your self-worth is a very dark, very exhausting place to be. It takes a massive toll on your mental health, and when you pour everything into a project, you know that it means a lot to you, only for the door to be slammed in your face. It's hard. And for a long time, receiving something like this would have broken my momentum completely. But I'm making a record today because my perspective has shifted. I've learned the hard way to see friction not as a war, but as a growing experience, a growing pain, if you would. If you aren't getting rejected, you probably aren't aiming high enough, or you're not going out to your fullest potential. So as much as these letters sting, and it does, I'm actually incredibly grateful. I'm grateful that I had the drive to push myself out there, you know, to take a risk and to keep on trying. This isn't a video about giving up. There's a video about looking at a no, getting the eye, and processing it, and realizing that they don't mean anything, and it's not final. And it doesn't matter what people say about your vision, about my vision. What matters is what you say. Okay, so let's read. So I have a few rejection letters, just from all the disciplines that I have explored in my lifetime. I have acting, dance, directing, and vocal as well. So I think maybe we go in alphabetical order. Yeah, alphabetical order would probably work best. Okay, acting. Remember, say it right, guys. What is important? For obvious reasons, I will not be saying the company names, and if I do slip up and mention the company names, I will censor it, because I am not putting any company in flag for rejecting me and stuff. You know, this is at the end of the day a business, and I still am very appreciative that I was able to have the opportunity to either pitch to them, audition to them, whatever it is. So I am not regretful for auditioning with these people, and I'm also not upset or have this hatred inside of me towards them, because honestly, I'm just thankful for the opportunity at the end of it. So this is for an audition. It was for web drama. I am not allowed to say what the name is, and also will not be divulging, like I said, the company's name. Hi Zakir, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming in to read for the project last week. We really enjoyed seeing your interpretation of the character and the emotional depth you brought to the scene. We are writing to let you know that the producers have ultimately decided to go in a different direction for this role. It was a very tough decision, as we saw many talented actors, but they chose someone who looks slightly better better matches the established family dynamic of the existing cast. We will keep your headshot and the reel on file for future projects that might be better fit. Keep up the great work. And yeah, I remember reading this one. It was very hard, um, was very heartbreaking because it was something that I really was excited for. But and they have contacted me for future projects, which unfortunately also didn't get. But like I've been saying, I'm just extremely grateful for the opportunity to have been able to push my career in the sport, because usually I am the one behind the camera, so being the one in front of the camera really, even if when it was just for an audition, it really did mean a lot ultimately to me. But yeah, then I have another actors one right here. So I actually made it into the callback, and yeah, it was really good. These people are extremely kind to me. Were extremely kind to me, and were very understanding. This audition was actually before the previous one, so I was actually a little bit more nervous because this was very much in my early times of auditioning. But they were very understanding, gave me a chance to breathe, take a moment before I fully started. This was for a TV show pilot, which I believe did end up getting picked up, but I'm not fully sure about that. I had some of my friends from the behind the scenes who actually have worked on the show. But yeah, I'm just gonna read it to you guys. Here's our here. Thank you for your callback last Tuesday. You gave a fantastic read, and the director really appreciated how well you took read direction in the room. Unfortunately, we are releasing you from your hold on for this role. The network has decided to age up the character by a few years, so we have to go in a different direction with the casting to reflect that change in the script. It was great meeting you, and we will definitely keep you in mind for future younger skewing roles that comes across our desk. Best regards. So yeah, this one didn't hurt as much because it very much was something that was out of my control. They wanted an older role, so I couldn't, fit that because, well, I was too young for what they wanted. So, but like I said, they were very understanding with me and very kind to me. So, I am always grateful for that. So, dance rejections. This was at the top of me starting to dance and really trying to get into it. Before I decided ultimately that, as difficult as it is to actually get into one of these, that it would probably be better for me to try and self-train myself as I try to get an actual teacher for this, because ultimately it's better to be doing something, even if it's just a terrible start, than just nothing at all. Dear Zakir, thank you for attending the open dance audition at. We appreciate the time and effort you put into preparing your choreography and showcasing your performance skills to our casting directors. While our panel noted your strong stage presence and undeniable passion, we are currently looking for dancers whose foundational techniques align more closely with the specific stylistic direction for our upcoming dance crew. Sorry, my brain just blanked. Therefore, we will not be moving forward with your application at this time. The industry is highly competitive and casting decisions are often based on very narrow project requirements. We encourage you to continue refining your craft and wish you the absolute best for your future endeavors. So, this one did hurt a lot, you know. It was the feeling of the way I danced, and my specific style wasn't what people wanted, and you know, it was very heartbreaking at the time. Still get a little bit sad about it when I read it and look back on it, but yeah, you know. But ultimately, something good did come out of this, as this next one was actually recommended. I was actually recommended to them. So, you know, as much as my skills didn't align with the previous group, previous company and dance crew, that they still, you know, acknowledged me and, you know, recommended me to a different company, which I auditioned and ultimately also got rejected at. But yeah, so it's like that old saying says, when one door closes, another one opens. Don't know how that would work logistically, but you know, it's a saying. It's supposed to make people feel better. But yeah, so I'm gonna read the second one. Hi Zakir, thanks for coming down to the studio this weekend. Our choreographers reviewed the footage from your freestyle and the required routine. While you brought great energy to the floor, your current style leans a bit too heavily into commercial hip hop for the specific contemporary fusion concept we are developing here at. We need dancers whose foundations fits that specific mold right out of the gate. Keep training your versatility, and we wish you luck in finding the right fit. Best. Yeah, see, I have a knife to the heart. Yeah, but yeah, it was. I love dance, you know. So yeah, just, you know, being rejected is always a hard thing, but you know, it's always an opportunity to learn and to grow. And you know, as much as hip hop and pop was kind of dance that I like to do, it really gave me an opportunity to look into things like contemporary dancing and, you know, just expand my, as I said, versatility. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so this was actually a company that that my friend has worked at for an intern. He told me that they have an online audition submissions, and that, you know, maybe I should try it out. So I did, and ultimately, I mean, the whole point of this video, got rejected. But yeah, it was just, let me just read it. I feel like I'm waffling. Dear Zakir, thank you for submitting your vocal reel to our A&R department at. We are always excited to listen to new talent and appreciate you sharing your voice with us. After careful review by our producers, we are going to pass on extending a contract right now. You have a highly unique vocal tone, but it does not quite fit with the vocal profiles we are currently scouting for. Please know that this is not a reflection of your potential, but rather a matter of timing and current roster needs. Keep singing and developing your unique sound. Warm regards, A&R department. So I didn't know what to think of this one. If they were just saying that I was, my vocal tone was fine or whatever, because, it's like a soft rejection almost. So I didn't know if that was the case or if it was genuinely something that they meant. And yeah, this was also before I met my vocal coach and before I started having lessons with her. So it had no prior experience. So that, I guess, also kind of went into it being of the questioning of, is this just a soft letdown or is it actual, praise that they are giving me? And then my final rejection letter. Yeah, this was another online audition that I found myself this time and that I went for. So it goes. Dear Zakir, this letter is to inform you of the results regarding your recent vocal demo submission to, almost said the name there. Our A&R team and in-house vocal coaches have reviewed your materials. While we recognize your distinct vocal color and potential, we are passing on your application. We are currently specifically scouting for higher register main vocalists to round out our project. And your vocal profile does not quite fill in that missing gap. We appreciate your interest in our company and encourage you to keep developing your technique. Sincerely, Singer Development Division of... it's hard looking back at some of these, but you always have to remember that while rejection isn't always a bad thing, it's a stepping stone, and you need to allow yourself to step on that so that you not get pushed away by the river of negativity. The river of negativity, yeah? I'm gonna go with that. That works for me. That's the reality of it. That's what a no can look like. It's easy to look at the final polished product of any creative journey and assume it's a straight line. But it never is. And it's often built on a foundation of letters and emails, exactly like these ones that I just read. Like I said at the start, putting your work on the line and opening yourself up to this kind of vulnerability is hard. It can drag you down if you let it, but standing on the side of it, having read it and processed it, I can honestly say that I wouldn't trade the experience. The resilience you build by surviving a no is exactly what you need to handle the yes when it finally comes. I'm proud that I put my work into the arena. The fact that I'm even in a position to be rejected by the rooms I'm trying to enter means I'm moving in the right direction. This rejection is just data. It's a redirect, not a dead end. And the vision hasn't changed, the work ethic hasn't changed, only the route has. Building something, pitching, something or fighting for a space that keeps telling you not right now. Protect your peace, take care of your head. Don't you dare stop putting yourself out there. The whole idea of KRYZAE is to rise, to rise and fight for your dreams. So don't give up. Keep fighting for it, and it will be yours one day. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this process with me, and the journey is still long, but it's still on. I'll see you guys next time.